Nebraska and Michigan, another likely blowout. 29.5 is the spread here for Michigan.
You know, I hated picking this one too for the same reasons you talked about. It looked so big. I was sitting there thinking to myself, I can't lay those points, even though Michigan's been dominant at home. And even this matchup, if you think about it, I mean, Blake Corum should get more Heisman love. He is one of the best running backs, if not the best in the country. He's been phenomenal. The rushing attack for Michigan in general has been phenomenal. I mean, Donovan Edwards is also extremely talented in their backfield. And this is a defense in Nebraska that's giving up over 180 yards a game on the ground. That's 108th in FBS. They've lost 3 straight. They need to win out at this point, obviously, to remain bowl eligible. That's not going to happen. Chuba Purdy, Logan Smothers both played last week. They combined for less than 150 yards passing. I mean, this is just a bad matchup. Maybe there's a chance Casey Thompson would play in this game. If he plays, I think they've got a much better shot of covering this number. But to what you said the last one, it's just too big of a number for me. I think Michigan's one-dimensional. I haven't seen J.J. McCarthy really take off the passing game, so I'm going to take the 29.5 points. But I think it could be right there. It could be a Michigan win by 28.
Yeah, Michigan's, I don't want to say slow starter, but it does feel like this massive locomotive, which is Blake Corum, does take a little bit to get going. I mean, they were trailing against Rutgers at 17-14. Everybody kind of, because the final score, they dropped 52. I was like, oh, was that? And if you just looked at the box score, you're like, they blew them out. But it was tight. Maryland was another game. They were tied up at halftime. They've been sort of a second half team. I don't know if you see that again, but I think running the football the way they do, which has been really the surprise of the season. I thought they were making the move to J.J. McCarthy from Cade McNamara to get a little bit more explosive in the pass game. They really haven't been that much different than last year. They just get a little bit more dynamic of a runner out of J.J. McCarthy, and they don't get much more in the passing game. He's been good, but far from what I think I expected and maybe a lot of people expected out of that pass game. That being said, I think they run through Nebraska, but I think it'll be a slow, when you're running, less incomplete passes, clock is moving, I think it's harder to blow teams out by that many points.
29.5 is the spread. Michigan leads the country, winning each game by an average of 30 points per game.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.